In this video, we're going to look at how we can build rubrics into our marking and into our assignments. And for those of us in the UK, when we say rubric, what we really mean is a mark scheme or marking criteria or a mark banding. Okay, so let's take a look inside rubrics in Google Classroom. Okay, so here I am in my Google Classroom and I'm in the classwork tab, and you'll notice there's some posted assignments there, but I've also got some draft assignments, and it's this one here that I want us to work on. So I'm going to go up here to this one and just go ahead and edit the assignment, and you can see there I've got a rubric attached to this with 3 criteria worth 6 points. Okay, so I'm going to open up the assignment, which is in draft form. And you can see here we've got the instructions. Students have got a question. Let's make that a question. How does Tesco fulfill the fundamental principles of customer service? And they've got to write a report using their own previous research, their own findings, and the rubric to help them. What I'm going to do to make sure they've all got one, I'm going to add into there. I'm going to create in there, make sure they do it in a doc format. So I'm just going to give them a blank document. And I'm going to put on there a heading for them. In fact, let's copy it across just to save a bit of time. So we're going to say that our heading is here. And we're going to make that heading format. Okay, which puts it into there. And I'm just going to click here to name that document. And I'm going to close it. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the drop down to make a copy for each student, and that's automatically going to generate those for them. Okay, and name it with their name. Over here I can decide which students I want to assign it to. I can decide a number of points. Now I'm going to say ungraded because I'm going to use the rubric instead. Okay, I can set it a due date anytime I like, and I can add it to a topic, and I'm going to add it to week 2. Okay, and you can see here that I've already got my rubric. So we can click on this just to have a look at it. So we've got my rubric set up as for a pass, students are going to have to describe some of the ways Tesco fulfills it and give a range of examples, and that will get them 1 mark. If they manage to fully describe it and explain the ways in which Tesco fulfill it by giving examples of how they meet the services, they'll move on to the 2 mark. They'll achieve that as well. And then finally, just down the bottom here, they'll have to fully explain the different ways that they meet it and evaluate the effectiveness and the impact of that to get those final marks. Okay, so that's how our rubric's going to work. I'm just going to close that, and that will assign it, and then I would assign that to students. Okay. It just takes a few seconds. Now, in here, I've also got myself in as a student as well. So I'm going to jump into one of my other accounts. I'm going to go to Google Classroom. And I'm going to jump in to that class and go to classwork. And we'll see there's that week 2 task that's been set. So I can view the assignment here, and it gives me these options. I can add my private comments. I can talk to my teacher. Okay. Here's my hand-in option at the top here. Here are the customer service principles, so I can click on these to look at them in more detail if I need to understand a little bit more about what's been asked of me. And then here's my actual work that I can click on. So I'm going to go ahead and click here. And just underneath, I'm going to start writing. Now I might choose to insert in there a blank line or something just to get started. Tesco, make sure everyone stays 2 meters apart during this. Okay, coming out a little bit there. There we go. Tesco, make sure everyone keeps 2 metre distance at the moment. Okay, and that might be what I want to do, and I think I'm happy with that, and that's enough for me. So I might turn that in. I'm going to hand that in to my teacher. So let's just send that away and come back to the teacher version. Okay, put that over here. So if I go onto the classwork, I can open up this particular one. Just refresh the stream there. It'll take a second to pull through. There we go, week 2. And it hasn't quite pulled through yet. Let's have a look. Just double check that. Oh, there we go. That's why. I'm just going to. It does always double check with the students, and sometimes we forget that looking at it from the other side. Okay, so now we can see that I've turned mine in. I can open up the work that the student has done in this case, and I can decide whether they've fulfilled the different service, the different rubric. So in this case, definitely not 3, definitely not 2, and I would say at this stage I could say that they've achieved a pass just by clicking on it, but actually they're not even there. So what we might want to do is add a working towards to our rubric. So we can add that in if we want to, or we could just do that as a private comment. If this had a lot more work in it, we could say, for example, this is pass. We could say this is pass standard. Look at the rubric for merit. Okay, because we're not allowed to give much more information than that. So we'd score it as a pass, which we've done there, and it shows us that by the blue, and we can post that and return it to the student. And then in the student view, what I'll see as the student, let me just close that. So I've got my work back. Okay, I've got the option now to resubmit it, and my teacher is telling me this is pass standard, look at the rubric for merit, and I can drop that down and remind myself of what I need to do, and then go back in and improve it. Okay, so that's how you can use and adapt your rubrics for your marking, and you can create those when you create the actual assignment. So if we come back out for a moment and just go to instructions, we can see here there's the rubric, and if we wanted to, we could potentially edit that as well by adding further aspects to it. So I might decide that I want to add further to that. Now I've actually posted the assignment, you can see I've started grading, so I can't do that. So it's really important that you think it through and set it up beforehand, and it will take you through it absolutely step by step. Okay, so give rubrics a try and see if that can save you a lot of time, and also give the students more guidance, particularly while we're distance learning.